What's going on, everyone? So, I'm very excited to see Gale Weathers in the upcoming SCREAM 7. I've talked about, I really hope that they give her some purpose, right? Particularly after SCREAM 6. It just felt like she was just in there just to be in there. And I felt that way about Sydney in SCREAM 5. And it's like, I have no problem with you bringing the legacy characters back and having them involved, but, at least have there be a reason other than like, oh, yeah, here's Gale, right? Like, it's just like the only thing that Gale did in SCREAM 6, it didn't drive the narrative, it didn't drive the plot. Like, you honestly should have killed her. And it was just disappointing because I am a fan of Gale. I've talked about, I think Gale has had the biggest story arc of any character, even Sydney, right? Just the change and development of Gale over, from 96 and how she was to, now in SCREAM 6, and then we'll see what they do in SCREAM 7. Now, she is supposed to have a bigger role, a more expanded role. And Kevin Williamson's back, so I do have some hope in that regard. But regardless, I hope that they, again, give her some purpose, give her reason. As you can see, the image on screen, Gale Weathers wearing a red kind of blazer. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is a picture from SCREAM 5. My apologies. This picture is from SCREAM 7. So as you can see here, wait a minute. No, wait, she's wearing a red blazer. I mean, even the shirt is similar. So is this the same blazer? Right? Like, that's what it looks like to me, doesn't it? Well, it is the same blazer, right? She's literally wearing the same blazer and a similar top, I guess, like, with the patterns underneath and whatnot. So the reason I did this, obviously, I recognize that's why the video is. It's the same. I think it's interesting because usually, historically speaking, right, Gil is usually wearing a different color blazer, a different color ensemble, uniform, whatever, in each of her films, each film, right? Like they even have like color palettes with Gale and her various blazers and outfits and stuff. Last SCREAM she was wearing the the baby blue one and stuff, right? SCREAM 5 was when she was wearing the red blazer and Dewey's death and things like that. The reason I want to talk about this, outside of like, hey, it's the same blazer, it's like, that's cool and all, don't get me wrong, that's worth, mentioning in and of itself, but why make, a 10-minute video or whatever, however long this turns out to be, on just a blazer, right? And to me, it's more of like, is this a sign of the symbolism in several fronts, right? One, you could argue this is the symbolism of death. She wears this blazer, Dewey dies, right? She wears this blazer again. Does she die? Right? Is this kind of like that full circle moment? Could be the symbolism of her kind of career, right? SCREAM 5, she was, had the 60 Minutes 2 thing, or not 60 Minutes 2, her own morning show, 60 Minutes 2, sorry, I'm thinking of SCREAM 3. She had her own like morning show and stuff, and it's what like divided her and Dewey, right? So is this kind of her, this talks about her dealing with and suffering cancel culture? Is this kind of her way to kind of reinvent herself or kind of get back on track, right? Like the fierce red type thing. Now she's back to being cutthroat and crazy, ready to tear down the world again. It could be the symbolism of Dewey, not in the sense of his death, but just in remembrance, right? Like, we know David Arquette is expected to return as Dewey in some capacity. We don't know what that capacity is. We don't know if, he's returning. Obviously, he's dead, so I don't think he's returning as a flesh and blood. Hey, Dewey's back. Ha! I bamboozled you all, right? Like, I don't think it's something like that. But a flashback. Does this film kind of go into the heart of Gale and Dewey's relationship? Maybe dive into some of her regrets, some of her heartbreak, right? Like, SCREAM 6, you didn't really get any of that. You didn't really get any elements of Dewey and Gale, and I understand that it was, a year removed or whatever, but still, it's like, she's already got a new boyfriend. She's like, and I know that they were broken up for some time before that and all that stuff, but like, I just felt like that whole Dewey thing was just a missed opportunity, period. right? Like, you killed him, fine, so be it. And then yet completely go against every reason that you killed him in Scream 6. And then you have no moment of Dewey in Scream 6, right? And that was like her husband, the one that was been there for her literally through thick and thin forever. And then even in Scream 5, like, you didn't get like a Sydney reaction. Like, I'm not saying that it had to be long, like a long drawn out reaction, but it's just like that was everything to Sydney. That was the only person that she could call at any time. I don't care if she hadn't talked to him in 20 years. She picks up that phone and calls Dewey. Guess what? Dewey's there for her. Dewey's coming for her. It's the one reason she returned to Woodsboro when she never would have went back into Woodsboro, right? So it's just like, I just felt like there were missed opportunities across the board with the whole Dewey death and stuff. So maybe this is like, you get some kind of connection, some symbolism in that regard. Could be kind of nice, like have a nice little connection. Again, I'm hoping that they have some creativity in this. And I want there to be purpose, right? Now, the blazer itself, again, it could just, I don't think it's a coincidence by any stretch, right? Like, I don't think it's something where it's like, oh, wow, that's interesting that they just accidentally did that, right? Like, no, obviously there's a purpose and a reason why Gale is in the same blazer that she was in Scream 5, when historically speaking, she usually is in different blazers. She's wearing different outfits. Sometimes there'll be like similar colors, stuff like that, but like, she's literally in the same exact, black pants, red blazer, pattern blouse or whatever underneath. Her hair's like the same, it's just a little shorter, right? You can't see if she's wearing like hoop earrings or not, but like, it's just, it's basically the same. Cue the Office meme. That's the same picture, right? Like, so it'll be interesting to see if there is any like direct connection between her wearing the blazer or anything like that, or if it's just they just decided to re-up the uniform, which again doesn't really happen, right? It's not like she was wearing that in Scream 6. So, and you got to think, like, wouldn't that be the thing that kind of reminds her of Dewey the most? Right? She was wearing it when he died, right? Like, so, it's like the last time she had a conversation with Dewey she was wearing that blazer, right? So it's like, you would think that would bring up kind of, bad memories or whatever, right? But, hopefully, whatever they decide to do, it has logic and purpose and reason. Again, give Gale purpose, logic, reason. Don't just have her be in this movie just to be in this movie. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.